Rockter here. I wanted to do a follow-up video because I recently made a video basically saying I think these $1,300 plus Epiphones are overpriced, and this is coming from someone who owns one of these. Well, I actually own two. I had my Epiphone Bonamassa ES235, which I just recently sold, and I really appreciate everyone who watched and checked that out. If you haven't, check out that video. And all the people who commented, whether you agreed or disagreed, thank you, because everyone was very civil and very respectful. You know, whether you agreed with me or disagreed, everyone kept it very respectful. I just really appreciate that. And I had some really great discussions with pretty much everyone in the comments. You know, I learned a lot from you guys, and it gave me some, new talking points and things to think about regarding the Epiphone pricing. And I wanted to do a follow-up based on that. So one of the first things I want to address, I think a lot of people got the idea that, I was expecting to make money on these high-end Epiphones, like an investment. That's not necessarily the case. Now, I will say, historically, the Epiphone Bonamassa signature guitars have actually held their value pretty well, and I think some have even gone up in value. If you look at the Epiphone Gel Bonamassa Black Beauty guitar with the 3 pickups, or the Amos Flying V, those actually went up in value. However, the difference is, back when those were released a few years ago, the high-end Epiphones was a rare thing. You didn't often see an Epiphone with Gibson pickups and all these upgrades that the Bonamassa models came with. So they were kind of like a novelty. And on top of that, the previous signature Bonamassa models and these high-end Epiphones were still sold for under $1,000 brand new. So they were sold for under $1,000. They had these cool, unique upgraded specs you didn't see often, and that basically drove the prices of these up on the used market, and they held their value much better. Of course, I was one of the people to buy the ES335 Bonamassa, and that was when things shifted. Suddenly, they increased the price to $1,300, and I made a video saying that I think the price was justified, because if you look at these upgrades on paper, upgraded pickups, some of them Gibson pickups were $300-400, like the custom buckers, one-piece neck, they have long neck tenons, they have all these upgrades, hard shell case. If you actually do the math, they have several $100s worth of upgrades on these high-end Epiphones, which technically could justify, a $1,300 price. That being said, value is two different things. There's the objective value, the parts and specs and things it's made of that could justify it, and the perceived value. And what I've come to learn selling my Bonamassa Epiphone and just kind of seeing how the market has shifted, the perceived value of these is not great. Now, if you're someone who plans to just buy one and hold on to it for years and years and not sell it anytime soon, don't even worry about that, because honestly, a few $100s here and there, what does it matter over 5-10 years? It really doesn't. But if you're someone like me, who part of enjoying this hobby along with playing is getting to try new gear and feature it and enjoy it with others and dork out over it, and you got a high turnaround, then resale value is important, because part of how this hobby is sustainable for me is maybe not getting all the money back, which isn't realistic to expect on a brand new guitar, but to get decent chunk back on it so I can put it towards another guitar. Helps keep this hobby somewhat affordable and sustainable financially. So for me, resale value is important. If you're that type of person, keep watching. If you are not, you're just gonna hold on to the guitar and play it and enjoy it, then turn it off right now. Go play and enjoy your guitar. You don't have to hear me rant. But yeah, that's kind of where the thought process is coming from in the last video. I just wanted to clarify that. Now, all that being said, I sold my Bonamassa, but I'm keeping my Silver Burst Adam Jones, because this graphic is badass. I love this graphic, and this guitar is still a joy to play. And I don't want to give the idea that I don't like these Epiphones. I really do. I still keeping this one. I did buy them. I did enjoy them. The ERs are still great players. They look good. They sound good. They feel pretty good to play. I just don't think their resale value is very good. And even the brand new price of $1,300, I think, is a little steep for some of these. I think around the $1,100 price brand new is a little bit more reasonable. And personally, I would just say wait a few months, because you can probably pick these up used for much cheaper. And part of that also is, I think these depreciate much harder than a Gibson. I expect all brand new guitars to depreciate. I'm not kind of delusional in thinking every guitar is going to go up in value, but the level of depreciation is something people should be aware of. Most brand new Gibson guitars, from what I've just seen perusing used listings every day, which I like to do, they depreciate about 30%. Most used guitars in general seem to depreciate about 40%. Obviously, there's exceptions to these. My Bonamassa Epiphone ES235, which was supposed to be this collector's item, it came with a certificate of authenticity. It was made in a limited number of, 2,000 or something worldwide. And Epiphone really played up the collector value. I mean, it's not like they were trying to hide that. They were like, oh, there's a certificate, it's in limited numbers. They tried to play it up like an investment in the ads. At least it seemed that way to me. And previously, the Bonamassa models have gone up in value, but my Epiphone Bonamassa ES335, the highest I could get for it after sitting months on the used listings was $700. So I took almost a 50% depreciation. Keep in mind, I just mentioned most used guitars depreciate about 40%, and usually a Gibson USA guitar, maybe about 30%, 40% on the upper end of depreciation. So again, if you're looking to maybe hold on to one only for a short period to try it out, or you're a little iffy about it, you could see yourself potentially selling these within 2-3 years of owning it. Don't buy one brand new. Don't pay the full price. Wait for a dealer discount or buy one used, because if these depreciate the way my Bonamassa did, you will get a really nice discount and an awesome guitar at that price, which is a great deal. And I did mention a couple alternatives. Yes, you can buy some Gibsons for the same or less. These are $1,300 Epiphones. They look good, they feel good, they sound good, but here's what I think is a much better value. And I made a video featuring this, check that out. It's my Gibson SG Special in Faded Pelham Blue. This guitar, $1,500 brand new. I think they increased the price to $1,600 a couple years back, but when I bought it, it was a $1,500 guitar. I got it on a dealer discount. They took 15% off, so I got it for about $1,275, brand new. This has a full gloss nitro finish, which personally to me feels much better than polyurethane that's on the Epiphones. It's got binding with fret nibs on it, so buttery smooth fret ends right there. Real rosewood fretboard, not Indian laurel like some of the Epiphones have. And you also get a pretty sweet Gibson hardshell case. There you go. I think this was a made in Canada TKL case. So pretty much this, you can get one of these for what one of these costs, brand new without any discounts. So I just feel like there's, better alternatives out there to the Epiphones. Of course, if you have one of these Epiphones and you found one and you love it and you're enjoying it, don't worry about what I'm saying. I'm strictly speaking in terms of resale value and, things like that. But at the end of the day, if you're planning to hold on to it and you just like the way it plays and it makes you happy, that's all that matters. If you can afford it, enjoy it, get it. Don't worry about what some guy like me on the internet is saying. But if you are the type of player who could see yourself selling one, or you're not sure you'll hold on to it and resale value does matter to you, that is something to keep in mind. I don't think these Epiphones hold their value well at all. Again, I had a really hard time selling the Bonamassa, and I just think at the end of the day, perceived value, even though the specs might justify the price, these have several $100s worth of upgrades. At the end of the day, people see these still as import made in China guitars, and they still don't feel complete like a Gibson. Again, lack of fret nibs, poly finish. So I could see why a lot of people would not be willing to pay as much money for these on the used market as they would for one of these. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. And again, those who watched my last video, thank you so much for watching that, and thank you to everyone who commented and just really contributing to the discussion, whether it was agreeing or disagreeing. It was really helpful for me to just get those opinions. And I just appreciate all of you. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Got more videos to come. Thanks for watching.